Early one day at the sheds, Hudson was telling a story to Quincy, Clinchfield, and Aiden. And Hudson was telling a story that was for fun about an engine that was scrapped who haunts a tender in revenge for his accident. They say, and ever since that night, the ghostly tender of the New York Central Hudson that was scrapped wanders the line in revenge for his accident, resulting in the engines that killed him to be torn apart that night. Are you serious, Hudson? No one ever heard of a tender that was possessed by another engine. I mean, that's impossible. No one is able to hear about a ghost tender before. It's just for fun, Quincy. Do you have any stories to tell, Aiden? Well, I do have one, but it's a real one. Can you tell us? I bet it won't scare us. Well, my friend Hudson, it will definitely scare you. I can tell you that. Do you know about this story, Aiden? Yes, I was there at the time. I knew another engine that was a good friend to me. I used to work in the Louisville and Nashville before I worked here. Many years ago, before I worked on the Clinchfield Highland Valley Railroad, I worked on the Louisville and Nashville. There were a lot of mountain engines on the railroad, but one of them I knew most about, and was a friend to me, was another engine from the USRA. I didn't know his name though, but I did know his number. His number was 418, and he liked working for the railroad. It was his dream, and he did it perfectly. He was one of the managers of the USRA's favorite engine, and I was impressed of his skill and how he worked. Me and him got along really well. But however, there were 3 other engines that were on loan from other railroads. They were working for the Louisville and Nashville on loan. They didn't like him. They really didn't like 418. They thought he made them look stupid, and they were jealous. They would often call him names and be rude to him, but he wouldn't let that bother him. He always carried on with his work. One day, the other engines went too far. They pulled a prank on him and caused him to crash, and it was a very terrible sight. The wreckage was terrible. 418's boiler had exploded on impact. But luckily his driver and fireman had jumped clear before the accident. The engine that was pulling the train was unharmed. The reason why 418 had crashed was because the 3 Bully engines had tampered with the points. The 3 Bully engines didn't want to get in trouble for it, so they blamed him. And the manager believed them. He was ashamed of the engine and sent his body for scrap that night. But the driver and fireman of 418 were filled with rage from the manager believing the Bully engines. They both took the engine's body somewhere and disappeared. People believe that they went to Canada because nothing was heard or seen from them ever since. Until about a month later, the 3 Bully engines were at their sheds and they were talking about their accomplishment. I can't believe that we got rid of that old kettle. Yeah, he should have been scrapped all those years ago. I agree with you on that one. But as one of the other engines was about to say something, they heard something and it was in front of them. And standing right in front of them was 418. Well, at least not anymore. What was there was a vengeful, modified, and undead engine, with eyes described by the witness who saw everything, more evil than the devil himself, and he was glaring angrily at them.
You 3 should never have killed me! And now you make fun of me after I died? Guess what? You're getting what you rightfully deserve!
No, please, don't! No, no, no! course, the police were called to the scene next day, but only found the mangled bodies of the drivers and the engines with no evidence of the killer. No one knows or wants to know where Experiment 418 is now. Or should I say, Experiment 18. You mean he's still alive? Yes, Hudson. But why is he called Experiment 18? Well, the driver and fireman of 418 experimented him a lot. But on their 18th try, their experiment was finally a success. And now, Experiment 18 is a killer locomotive, killing engines that wronged him in the past. But who was the witness that saw the whole thing? That was me. What? You saw everything? Yes. I was upset of what happened to him, but I knew that the bully engines had something to do with it. I followed them back to the shed, but then I heard them screaming. But then I realized it was Experiment 18 that killed them. But what was his real name, Aiden? I think that I'll just have to wait until next time, Clinchfield.